Welcome for part 2 of the Night of the Zealot campaign, the Midnight Masks. We have rolling banks over here, since in our last campaign I went down with damage and sanity at once, so we chose to go with a physical trauma. So we're starting with that. There are 5 resources. We'll give our deck a final shuffle here. And draw 5 cards. Finding a first aid kit, hyper awareness, a guard dog, a machete, and a magnifying glass. And both of these are definitely keepers in my opinion. First aid kit will definitely come in handy, along with having an asset or an ally there. So I think I'll just mulligan 1 card, drawing into physical training, and this will get shuffled back in. So I've got our starting hand of cards there. Now for our story. The Midnight Masks. If Lita was forced to find others to help her cause, read Intro 1, otherwise go into 2. So in the wake of the disaster at your home, Lita Chandler, the red-haired woman from your parlor, lays out a tale that, even in the light of what you have just witnessed, strains the limits of your belief. Creatures in your home, she claims, are called ghouls, cruel beings who plague the crypts, caverns, and tunnels beneath the city of ARKHAM. These creatures feed on the corpses of humans, and they are served by a dark cult within ARKHAM whose members have inexplicably come to worship the ancient master of the ghouls. This cult has been killing innocent people and feeding them to the ghouls, satiating a monster's hunger. A dark balance was maintained until now. Recently, Lita continues, one of their lairs where the corpses were stored was destroyed. Since then, the ghouls have been more active than usual. Tracked their movements and tried my best to stop them from running amok throughout the city, but I think there is something worse going on. The cult has been planning something darker and more ominous than anything I have yet observed. Indications are that this plan shall come to fruition tonight, shortly after midnight. Beyond that, I cannot fathom what to expect. Many of the cultists, Lita continues, will seem like everyday people despite their foul intentions. Whenever the cult meets, its members don masks shaped like the skulls of various animals to protect their identities from one another. These masks are our mark, symbols of death and decay. We must unmask the cultists and expose and derail their plans. We have but a few hours. The more cultists we find before midnight, the better. So for setup, I've gathered all the cards with that symbol in place. And they're either set up here, or I've got them shuffled in with this stack. I've got another set of cards out. The Cult of Omidorth. Counter set aside as a separate cultist deck and shuffle it. So I've got that symbol. There's 5 cards in that. And we'll just set this over here. Choose one of the 2 downtown locations and one of the 2 south side locations at random and put them into play. Remove the other versions of those from the game and put the rest of these places in play. And based on number of players, we'll make no changes there. As far as our locations, we have 2 downtowns. We'll just choose that one, and then 2 south sides. We'll pick that one. We also have our house, north side, St. Mary's Hospital, Miskatonic University, Rivertown, Graveyard, and Easttown. And we have a suggested location placement for these locations, with our house in the bottom right, with Graveyard on top of that, and then Easttown, and downtown and north side, Rivertown, south side, the University, and St. Mary's Hospital. And this gets a little confusing on where we can go from each spot. So from our house, we can go to Rivertown. And from Rivertown, we can go to our house, south side, University and Graveyard. And then from here, We can go to these two locations and these two. And from north side, we can go to downtown and the university. And from downtown, these two places. And then from east town, we can go to downtown and Rivertown. So I'll try to keep that straight. So if our house was burned to the ground, we'll remove it. But in our campaign log, our house is still standing. I've already shuffled the encounter cards. And I went ahead and put the ghoul priest in there since he is still alive. I thought this was nice to note up here. If you're worried about taking trauma, resigning from a scenario is almost always better than defeat. So, not that that would have helped last turn, but good to know. So, what's going on? Predator or prey? Lita seems convinced of a conspiracy within the city of ARKHAM. She believes that a secret cult serves the ghouls that live in the crypts beneath the city, and that several of the cult's prominent members are scattered throughout ARKHAM. As you begin searching for them, you can't shake the feeling that you too are being hunted. So, got an ability here, resign. You don't want to risk taking too long, so you head to the safety with the information you've gathered. So 6 on here. And then uncovering the conspiracy. You have 1 night to find the members of this cult and unveil their plans. The more members of the cult you find and interrogate before midnight, the better. So as an action, the investigators can spend 2 clues per investigator as a group. Draw the top card of the cultist deck, which is a separate stack. Their objective, find as many unique cultist enemies as you can and add them to the victory display. There are 6 unique cultist enemies in the victory display. Advance. And just a note, not all 6 of them are in the cultist deck, which is good because there's only 5 in that stack. So let's go ahead and get started. So we start at our house. So despite what happened, you just couldn't bring yourself to destroy your home. So we've got a Shroud of 2, comes in with 1 clue on it. Forced, when the ghoul priest spawns, spawn it here instead of its normal location. As an action, we can draw 1 card and gain a resource limit once per turn. Still feel uneasy about going back. So 1 clue. We're going to go ahead and put a machete in for a cost of 3. And then our magnifying glass for a cost of 1. This does not cost us an action, and it does help us with our investigating. We will investigate, needing a 2. We have a base 3 plus 1, so we've got 4, and our bag of chaos tokens. Getting a 0, so we've obtained a clue. So that was 1 action for machete. That was free. 1 investigate. So then we'll go ahead and do this. Draw a card and gain a resource. Drawing the beat cop. And getting a resource. So with that phase done, there's no enemies. So we're going to upkeep. Draw a card and get another resource. Unexpected courage. A resource there. Then our mythos phase, 1 there, and gain a card. Finding, oh goodness, our ghoul priest already. So we didn't kill him last time, so he's back. Imagine that. So he's going to become engaged. He's a hunter and retaliate ability. Not what I wanted to see first, but that's what we've got. So for our first action, we're fighting. So base 4, 5. So this gets us +1 combat. And if the attacked enemy is the only enemy engaged with you, deals +1 damage. So 4, 5, we're going to pitch this for 6. Using the icon over there. So we need a 4. We're good there. 2 damage. Our second attack, we'll pitch the guard dog. 6 on 4. This So -2, place 1 doom on the nearest cultist enemy. So we're still defeating it. Puts 2 on there. Puts a doom on the enemy. And this doom does count against our number here. And third and final action, some unexpected courage. We're going to spin this to give us +2, so we're up to 7. So -1. The ghoul priest is dead. So put him in our victory point stack. Our actions are done. So enemy phase, nothing there. We will draw a card, getting overpower. Get a resource. Put a token over here and draw another card. Finding a hunting night gaunt. All right, so he's a hunter. While attempting to evade the night gaunt, double the negative modifier of each revealed chaos token. Fight of 3, evade of 1, but it's probably going to go higher. And let's face it, with our guy, we don't run. And a health of 4. So back to us again. Looks like we're fighting. So our base 5, 6, 7. So 2 damage. We're pretty good with this machete. Then we're going to fight again with just our base, which is going to be a 5. Getting a -2. So that gets us our 3. And a dead monster. And with our final action, we're going to put in a beat cop. So it costs us 4. It's going to give us +1 combat. And as a free action there, we can discard him to deal 1 damage to an enemy in our location. But he also gives us an extra 2 health and sanity. So we haven't moved far from home. We'll draw a card, getting a vicious blow, get a resource, put our 3rd token up here, getting another monster. All right, spawn any empty location. After Acolyte enters play, place 1 doom on it. And we don't have much room out here. Just place him over here since he's not in our play area. Put a token over here. We'll have him come in on Rivertown. And he comes in with a doom on him. Kind of feel like a shortage on cards, so we will use our ability down here for our first action. Draw a card and gain a resource. So we've got some evidence. Another resource. Then we're going to move into Rivertown, which will move him over and engage with us. So Shroud of 1, getting a clue. So there's something unsettling about the water of the Miskatonic River tonight. It ripbles and bubbles as though something is moving beneath the surface. And our 3rd and final action is going to be taking our machete to this guy. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 against his 3. So hopefully that's enough. -2. So we're good there. He's taken out. So no enemy phase, upkeep, drawing a card, getting hyper awareness, another resource. Then we're up to 4 doom here. And a locked door. Attach the location with the most clues and without a locked door. Attached location cannot be investigated. So we can either do an action to test our strength to break down the door, or agility to pick the locks. If you succeed, discard the locked door. So that will be our locked door. So action 1 will be to bust down the door. So we've got 6 on 4. -4. All right, second action. Try again. That is minus X, where X is the highest number of doom on a cultist enemy in play. So 0, so we've busted down the door. For our third and final action, we'll go for the clue. So that's going to be 4, needing to get a 1. So we're good there. We've got our second clue. But we're out of activations. So no enemies, upkeep, getting some dynamite, and another resource. We're up to 5 out of 6 on that, and so far I haven't found our first bad guy. Hunting Shadow, or Peril. Something new for me anyway. An investigator draws a card with the Peril keyword. That investigator cannot confer with or receive assistance from other players. So basically we're in peril all the time. All right, you must either choose one, spend a clue, or take 2 damage. That's not cool. I'm going to risk it. I'll take the damage. So we're up to 3 damage now. So then with our first action, we're going to spend 2 clues to draw the top card of the cultist deck. And with this, we've got Victoria Devereaux. 3 fight, 2 evade, and 3 health. She spawns up at the north side. For her, as an action, we can spend 5 resources and parlay add her to the victory display. All right, so we can either beat her up or spend some money to get her taken care of. So she is at north side. For our second action, we'll move over to the university. So Miskatonic University is one of the most prestigious colleges in the Northeast. University Library is famous for its collection of occult books maintained by the esteemed Dr. Henry Armitage. So shroud value of 4. We get 2 clues on here. So in action, we can search the top 6 cards of your deck for a tomb or spell card and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. Yeah, that's going to be hard for us. All right, our last action, we're going to investigate, getting +2 there. So we're 3, 4, 5, 6. Needing a 4. That is a -2. Place a doom on the nearest cultist enemy. So we've 6 needing a 4. We got that. She gets a doom counter on her. So enemy phase, not a hunter. She's staying there. We will draw a card, finding a knife, getting a resource. Then we're going to put a 6 doom on here, which is probably going to end up bad for us. All right, the Masked Hunter. Spawn engaged with prey. One with the most clues. We've got the most. Gets +2 health per investigator. While you're engaged with him, you cannot discover or spend clues. So he's coming out attacking us. And just to clarify on the doom, the only time we check for that is during this phase. So even though she came out earlier, which would have met the threshold, we only check at this phase. So back to our actions. Looks like we're picking a fight. He's got 6 health. So our base attack is 6, going up on a 4. We'll go ahead and boost it up to a 7 with the knife. We're good there. So 2 damage on him. Second attack. No boost. Highest number of doom on a cultist, so that's going to be a -1. So we're good there for another 2 damage. And then lastly, a -2. So 6 down to 4. We've taken down the masked hunter. And this is one of the unique hunters or cultists we're looking for. So that's 1 of 6. So enemy phase, she's just going to stay there. And upkeep, we'll draw a card, finding a flashlight, and gain a resource. And I don't remember if I read this one, but time is running short. The minutes pass quickly as your investigation continues. Same resign action. You don't want to risk taking too long, so you head to safety with information you've gathered. And our next card, another locked door. So we've seen this before. Yeah, I'll just stick that on there. So we're going to go ahead and move up here, become engaged. See what we have at north side. Shroud of 3, 2 clues. Spend 5 resources to gain 2 clues from the token pool. That changes what I was thinking about doing. All right, originally I was thinking of spending 5 resources to just automatically get her. But instead, I think we're going to use a machete on her. So once again, base 6 attack on 3. We're going to boost it with a skill card. If the skill test is successful during an attack, that attack deals +1 damage. So if this works, we can kill her outright. So 7 on 3. We are good. So that's doing 3 damage. So that will take her out. That was 2 actions. Then we're going to go ahead and use this to spend 5 to gain 2 clues. And that is a group limit once per game. So once again, no enemies. Lita Chandler. So she's pretty awesome. We do have an ally limit of 1. So we can't have too many friends with us. But while she's in play for us, we'll get +1 fight at our location. And when an investigator at your location successfully attacks a monster enemy, that investigator deals +1 damage. And then our resource. So we'll place a doom, draw a card, finding an acolyte. Oops, I didn't forget one of our abilities. After you defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at your location, limit once per round. So when we beat up Victoria, we found another clue. Now we've got an acolyte with us. Oh, no we don't. Spawn at an empty location. After he enters play, place a doom on him. So we will put him downtown with 1 doom on him. So we have 3 doom. So for our first action, we're going to move downtown. So Shroud of 3, 1 clue. As an action, we can gain 3 resources once per game. Second action, we're going to fight. So base 6, needing a 3. So we're good there. So he is finished. With our ability, we gain the clue. Our second action, we're going to use 2 clues to bring out another cultist, finding Peter Warren. So he will spawn at the Miskatonic University. It's an action there. Spend 2 clues. We can have him go to our victory display. So we moved, fought, and brought that out. So we're done. Enemies, he's staying where he's at. So upkeep, draw a card, finding another knife, gain a resource. 3 tokens there. False lead. If you have no clues, gain surge. If you have 1 or more clues, test intelligence. For each point you fail by, place one of your clues on your location. So we have an intelligence of 3. We'll pitch these 2 to boost it by 2, so we're up to 5. Oh, goodness. So from 5 down to 2, which means we're going to drop 2 clues. Not cool. So 3 new actions. First one, we're going to move over to East Town. See, Shroud of 2, 1 clue. While you are in East Town, reduce the cost of each ally asset you play by 2. Second action, we're going to investigate. So base 4. -2, so we're good there. And third and final action, we're going to spin these 2. Find Ruth. So she'll spawn at St. Mary's Hospital. And after she is evaded, add her to the victory display. That's not going to be something we do. So she's at St. Mary's. Our 3 actions are done. Enemies are not moving. Uh-oh, paranoia. Discard all your resources. That's 3. And then we will gain 1. Place out some doom. Draw a card. So test your willpower. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage. I'll pitch this so we've got a chance at least. That gets us up to a 4. For the highest number of doom on a cultist enemy in play. None of these have doom on them. So in that case, we passed. So we're not discarding anything. So we are going to 1 action, 2 action. Third action is a fight, so 6 on 2. We're going to do 2 damage to him. Then we're going to go ahead and discard Beat Cop to deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location to have him defeated. So that's going to be our third one up here. And after you defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at your location. Don't think that affected doing it that way. Yeah, we did investigate. So then we'll draw a card, finding our Elder Sign Amulet to give us 4 sanity. Then a resource. Put a doom, 5 of 8. Then a Hunting Shadow, peril. So you must either spend a clue or take 2 damage. Yeah, I think we're going to take the 2 damage again. So we're up to 5 damage on us. First action, we're going to put Lita into play. Second action will be, let's see, do we want to move in there? She's going to hit us. No, she doesn't hit hard. So we'll go ahead and move in there. Have her come over with us. And she's going to attack, doing 1 damage to us. We'll throw that on Lita here. Trying to recount my actions. Let's see. All we did, we played a card, we moved in. Yeah, now we can fight. So we've got fight of 6. Going against 2. So we're doing 2 damage. Now she attacks for her 1. You know, went a little bit out of order there. Almost get me out of my 3rd action. So now we'll go ahead. Did her actions. She attacked. We put that on Lita. We'll draw a card. Finding some guts. Gain a resource. I did forget to look in here. So 2 Shroud. 1 there. And as an action, we can heal 3 damage. Once per game. So adding our 6 of 8 there. Drawing a card. So we must either choose to spin a clue or take 2 damage. So we'll split that up, put 1 on her, and then we'll go up to 6 over here. Clues are just too valuable in this one. Then for our first action, we're going to go ahead and fight. Once again, we've got 6 on her 2. So once again, -2, but place a doom on the nearest cultist, which is going to be her, but she's getting knocked out anyway. So that's going to be 4 that we found. And since we defeated an enemy, we'll gain this clue. And with that, we'll spin 2. So the Wolfman jumps in downtown, which is on the other side of town. Let's see. When he attacks, heal 1 damage from him. We're getting ready to put our 7th token up there at the end of this round. So if we moved up here, next turn we could move, and attack once, which won't kill it. So I think for our final action, we're just going to resign. Don't want to risk taking too long, so you head to the safety with the information you've gathered. So I feel like we've taken care of enough, maybe. So we'll go into here. Let's see if no resolution was reached. Each investigator resigned or was defeated. Read 1. So you've managed to obtain some useful information about the cult and its plans. You can only hope it's enough. Your campaign log under cultist we interrogated. Record the names of each unique cultist enemy in the victory display. So that is going to be Ruth, Victoria, Peter, and the Masked Hunter. So in your campaign log under cultist who got away, record the name of each unique enemy still in the cultist deck or in play. If it is Agenda 1, record the Masked Hunter. So Herman and the Wolfman got away. So Ghoul Priest is in the victory display, which he is. Cross out that he's still alive, and then each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. So basically on the board, that gets victory, but it's got a clue. We'll get 1 for this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 victory points. So with that, we'll upgrade our deck. So with our 8 points, 3 will get us a bulletproof vest, which gives us some extra health. Going to get some cryptic research. That takes up 4. Fast, so it won't take up an action. Play only during your turn. Choose an investigator at your location. That investigator draws 3 cards. And then we're going to upgrade our magnifying glass. So we've got the extra ability, if there are no clear clues on your location, return magnifying glass to your hand. So that's an easy upgrade there. For these two, we're going to have to find cards to discard. So let's take a look at everything we've got here. And I think we want to get rid of our knife and flashlight, get us a vest and the cryptic research. So with that, that will end our playthrough of Part 2, The Midnight Mask of Arkham Horror the card game. I hope you enjoyed this solo play, so please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. And join me next time as we hit Part 3, The Devourer Below.